Number 3, and they are going to be in the mix too, I think, because of this guy, of course, but the rest of the team's damn good too. It's coming along. Justin Herbert. He is the number 3 quarterback in football. I mean, him, Joe Burrow, I mean, they're incredible talents. We know that. The thing I would say about Justin Herbert, probably the best pure thrower of the football in the NFL. All right? When I'm talking about you're in the pocket and he's got, a clean lane and he's protected, I don't know if there's anybody better at hitting the bullseye with power throws, any type of throw, than Justin Herbert. He loses no control of the football. I mean, he, of course, has an incredible arm. Incredible. And that's where, he separates himself. I mean, again, now, I'm not sure anyone's more consistent in the pocket when things are clean. If that, like I said, making unreal, on the ball, on the money type throws. Maybe the best arm in the NFL. It's close. I mean, 2 of the guys we got coming up here are also in that conversation. But if somebody came to me and went, I think Justin Herbert has the strongest arm in football, I wouldn't go, you're crazy. I'd go, yes, I understand that. He falls off his back foot and throws 65-yard posts with ease for touchdowns. He rolls to the right and throws posts back across the field 62 yards with ease for touchdowns. He is the ultimate size is a skill guy. I know people hear me say that again, but this is a guy that, like Dak Prescott and Brady, there is, the ability to throw over the line, people around you like Dak Prescott and still make high-quality throws are amazing. The decision-making is off the charts there. The ability to control the ball over the middle of the field and throw the ball into tight windows might be the best in football in that category as well. Because of his size, he sees so well over the middle. He's a little more willing to kind of put it into some questionable spots that way. We know he's a great athlete. I would say it's actually one of my things that I would come away and go, it's a little bit of a negative. He needs to use his athleticism more. Sometimes he is so big, he just goes, I'm going to stand there and make the damn throw. And you go, get out of the pocket here. Buy some time. Threaten the line of scrimmage. You're too fast. You're too good of an athlete to just stand there and I hope he's going to come open down the middle. That's maybe one of the negatives. But still, more times than not, even on those plays, he stands in there and you go, oh, look at that laser for a big throw. So that's where he's really, really special. Negatives, again, maybe just holds on to the first receiver too long and I'm just going to jam it in there, right? Maybe a little bit of that. Maybe I should have said this about Burrow. Anticipation could probably be a little bit better because Burrow's great at anticipating. Guy's not out of his break yet. Let me just throw a little touch ball. Herbert, he is a little bit of I want to see him come out of the break and then I'll throw it in there. But, it's nitpicky with the negatives. He's a phenomenal football player, and it's just, it's just going on an upward trajectory.
So same thing with Joe Burrow. What did you see from his rookie year to last year? Because he was 11th last year, going into last year, and now he's in your top 10.
Yeah, really, with Burrow and Herbert, those are 2 guys. Again, that's where I'm trying to learn from these second-year guys a little. That I feel like I got Herbert about close to right last year.
Yeah.
And Burrow, I even said at the time, I think if hadn't hurt his knee, probably would have been right around that area too.
Because you like Burrow coming out of college better than Justin Herbert.
I did. And I loved the way Burrow played last year before he hurt his knee. There was a lot of circumstances that maybe made things not look great at times, but they weren't his fault. The biggest thing to him, not that there was one area where it's not going to be anything where I can go, oh, he improved his touch, or he just, to me, he had to learn a system for the second time and just became a little bit more, I guess, consistent with the intermediate and shorter throws maybe than he was in year 1. And I think that's just reps and playing and seeing the field a little bit better. We saw all the magical things in the year 1, right? We saw all the big, deep bombs and great throws and wow. Year 1, there was, I think, some other things on first and second down completions where he'd go, I wish he would have made a better decision, or I wish he would have got off this guy and not tried to throw it 140 miles per hour into this guy's chest into a window the size of a keyhole and tried to go to the other guy. To me, that's where he improved in year 1 to year 2. The physical ability was apparent. There's no doubt about that. But, that's where he can really play with the offense and do it the right way and do that and make plays within the offense, like where, Again, it's just like, hey, the post isn't really part of this conversation, but he got to it and made a big play. He's great at that. Like I said, the off-the-schedule stuff, maybe he could be a little bit better like a Burrow or Allen or Mahomes, who we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Let it go.
Just let it go.
Use your athleticism.
Exactly. Get out of the pocket, set up, and be ready to throw one of those lasers we see some of these guys do all the time. To me, is something he can expand his game with a little bit.
Yeah, which I wonder, too, because at Oregon, the system was not great for him, but he played within the system.
Yes, he
did. And so maybe he is a guy that needs to learn to break the rules a little bit more.
Break the rules. And, you talk about sometimes like the quarterback who runs, right? And he's, of course, going to look to run when things go bad. This is the opposite. The guy with the great arm, he's just always like, well, he's going to come open. There's going to be a spot for me to throw it. And you can stay on him too long and go, I'm going to fit it in there. Right. I'm going to fit it in there. I'm going to fit it in there. And that's where he's got to break out of that a little bit. And I think that's, he's very capable of doing that.
Third in touchdown passes last year. Third in interceptions, 15. Now, on the last podcast with Paul, he said interceptions, they don't matter as much anymore to you, at least.
They're not like game changers to me. I mean, of course, we want to take care of the football.
And not all are created equal either.
Exactly right. Not are all created equal.
How about his 15 last year?
Well, his 15, I think, go into the category of a little bit what I was just discussing. Just trying to jam some balls in sometimes, or just because my arm's so great. And then, again, they're a big play offense, kind of just like the Bengals are. So I think the time maybe just a little too aggressive that way. But, they ask a lot of them, just like we're talking about with all these guys. And their offense, they weren't a great running football team. They had to make it happen with Justin Herbert and the receivers they got there. And that's to me where, again, he was asked to be aggressive. And, it's fourth down, you got to fit a ball in here and make something happen. The defense wasn't all that good. So that led them into some games of going, I got to push the envelope. We got to throw the ball out here today. It's a little bit like the Matt Stafford Lions conversation a little bit. They played a game last year where that's the way the game was. And if he didn't take some chances and be aggressive, they weren't going to win the game. And sometimes that bit them in the ass. But phenomenal talent. Smarts, physical ability, tough, strong. The leadership area.
That's what I was going to ask you about, because we just got done talking about Joe Burrow and how good he is at that, and how well-respected he is, how confident he is. You don't get that feeling from the outside.
No, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Justin Herbert. Yeah. What do you know about his leadership abilities?
I mean, I'm glad we get here, because, out of the top four, I think he's the least in this category. And not to say that he doesn't have an effect on his football team, but he seems more like he's the silent assassin type, where it's just – he goes about his business. He doesn't say a whole lot. He leads by example. He shows everybody, hey, I'm really good and I do everything right. And if, follow my lead and things will go right. I think he's that way a little bit. But yes, do I feel like it's maybe the Burrow magic or that? No, I think he's a little bit more of a understated guy that way. But at the very least, he's still one of those guys now that the Chargers walk on the field and go, didn't we get Justin Herbert? We can win today. I don't care who it is, what it is, whatever. We can play with anybody because of the things you said just a minute ago. That's what the great quarterback can do. Oh, we got no run game, so what? Oh, we're playing shitty defense today, so what? It just doesn't matter. 10 will throw lasers all over the field, and he'll make it happen. And more times than not, he did.
So the physical ability is what I'm guessing gives him a little bit of an edge over Joe Burrow.
It is.
Because some of the intangibles are with Burrow here.
Exactly. The throwing is just – it's so – when you go back – and even just some of the ones where you go, the pocket's clean, and you just go, well, damn, that guy was barely open. Yeah. Shit, he got it in there. First down, 15-yard gain. It's so much of that, and it's down the field, and it's, like big-time throws. And then, of course, with the quick game stuff and all that, he's very good too. His release isn't quite as quick as Joe Burrow's. Burrow, who doesn't have a ton of arm angles, has a few more arm angles than Herbert, who doesn't have that. But, yes, I think it's that. He's got a little maybe advantage in the game-changing throw department than Joe Burrow, and that's probably why I gave him the nod at 3
And he does it under pressure, too. Every one of his throws, his big throws, are on fourth down. I mean, they go for it all the time.
Yeah.
So that's part of it, too. That cool under pressure from fourth down pressure.
He is. Well, all four of these guys are cool under pressure. Yes. But these two young guys, especially Burrow and Herbert, the fact that they've shown to be this cool this earlier in their career, that's a pretty special trait. And, Herbert's he's got it all. There's nothing about him to not like. Again, I think we kind of hit on the negatives and all of that, but man, it's a superstar that's going to be around for a long, long time. Throws perfect spirals, so it's easy to catch football. And then when you do blitz him and do all that stuff too, even though I want to see him scramble and do some more there, he is amazing at being on the back foot, not being able to step into a throw, somebody hanging on him, still making a throw that way.
Yep.
Because of that size and strength. It's pretty damn special.
Still got the arm strength to do it. So this, I'm reminded again, the AFC West is going to be pretty fun to watch. He had Russell Wilson at 7, now with the Denver Broncos. He got Justin Herbert at 3.
Derek Carr was at 11.
So
we got 4 of the top 11 are in the AFC West.
When Tom Brady retires, Derek Carr will be in the top 10. So
right.
you could have all 4 quarterbacks in the top 10.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.